Eric Clapton, British rock singer. So this is actually an incredible story about Eric Clapton's life, hardships and downfalls that he's had throughout his career. A pretty sad story. So Eric Clapton was born in 1945 in Surrey, England. He was born into a lie. He was told his grandmother and step-grandfather were his parents. Patricia, whom he thought was his mother, was actually his sister, who had him when she was just 16. And that was a pretty shaky foundation to start a life on. When Clapton came out with his first hit, For Your Love, with the Yardbirds, he decided to leave the band and decided to go solo. In 1966, Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce, along with Eric Clapton, created the band called Cream. And this put Clapton literally on the map. They disbanded in 1968 because there was constant bickering between Baker and Bruce, and Clapton just felt that the band wasn't going anywhere, and he decided to go solo. So Clapton got involved with Alice Ormsby Gore, and they had a volatile relationship. They began using substances that she'd get for him. They didn't inject anything, so Clapton was still able to stay alert. But in 1971 in Bangladesh, at one of his concerts, he actually passed out on stage. So his friends, Pete Townsend and a few others, intervened to get him some help. Then Clapton fell head over heels in love with George Harrison's wife, Pattie Boyd, and it tormented him all the time, to the point where Clapton sent Pattie a letter asking her if she still loved her husband, but Pattie turned him down because she couldn't do that to her husband. He then wrote Layla about Pattie Boyd, and he finally got clean and wrote other hits like I Shot The Sherriff. So in 1974, Pattie Boyd left George Harrison because he was abusive. And in 1979, Eric Clapton and Pattie Boyd got married. And he was very happy then because that's what he wanted all along. But in 1981, Clapton traded one substance for another, and he started drinking heavily. Then he started doing what Pattie Boyd's first husband was doing, which was looking at other women. So then in 1984, he had an affair with Yvonne Kelly, who had a daughter for him, and they named her Ruth in 1985. Then Clapton had a second affair with Lori Del Santo, and she got pregnant and gave birth to a son, and they named him Connor, and that was in 1986. So in 1999, Clapton admitted to being abusive to Pattie while he was under the influence, and all the while he was doing this, his wife was trying to get pregnant, Pattie Boyd. How sad. But then, when Connor was 4, he fell out of a window and he died. And when Clapton got the call, he wasn't far from there. He was at work, and he was just a short place to walk there. But he couldn't go and see his son like that. So he walked by the building, and he regrets that to this day, that he didn't go and see his son. In 1995, Clapton's old girlfriend, Alice Ormsby Gore, died from a lethal drug overdose.